Okay, I am making my famous fisherman stew. This is something I make probably once a week, at least every 2 weeks, because it is such a good go-to. It is super easy to have all the ingredients on hand. It's one of my emergency backup protein sources. So let me take you through it. This is frozen cod. I happen to get it at Whole Foods. It's very easy to buy quality frozen cod in a variety of places, including Trader Joe's. I use 3 fillets. It's perfectly fresh because it's frozen. People think fresh fish is always better. It's frozen the second it's caught. It tastes fresher to me than things I've bought that are supposedly fresh. I have chopped it into bite-sized pieces. I use 3 fillets. You can use a little less or a little more. There's really not a need to be perfect in terms of measuring here. And what we're going to do is put that into a simple a simple pot of coconut milk and 1 can of diced tomatoes. This coconut milk is organic. It's from Whole Foods. It unfortunately has a little bit of guar gum in it, which is technically wrong for SIBO. It's a stabilizer, but it's a starch, and ideally I'd avoid it, but that's the store I was in, and that's the only brand they had, and so this is a lesson in not being perfect. If you try to be perfect every single second of the day, you're gonna go nuts. All right, so I have put both of those things together in this pot, and I'm whisking them up to melt the coconut cream. I like saying the word cream. Cream is not something that we get to have a lot of on this diet, but coconut cream is so rich and yummy. Okay, so this is beautiful, and I have added to it 3 spices. Curry powder, and then I like to embellish my curry powder with coriander and cumin because those are the 2 favorite ingredients. You know, curry powder is just it's a blend of a variety of spices, including these 2. I like them best because I prefer a sort of tangy taste. I don't like such a heavy taste in my curry powder, so I added a teaspoon of each of these to that pot. And we are going to bring this to a boil, which it just about is, and let those flavors marry a little bit. I started on this earlier, so they're married. Okay, what's the best way for me to transport my little fishy over here? I am going to... Do you like my new cutting board? I'm ecstatic about this. I had a crappy little plastic cutting board, and honestly, I found it kind of depressing. I needed something a little better, because if you're gonna cook 24/7 for your own health, you should have pretty stuff. That's my personal point of view. All right, let's scoop this in here. And is that boiling enough? Yes, it is boiling enough. Stick it in. You're gonna bring this back to a boil. Okay, let that fish come to a boil for just a minute, but I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're cooking fish is overcooking it, and that's why it feels dry and it feels unappealing. And I've got a lot of tips about how to cook salmon properly too when you're eating it just plain, but even when you're putting it in some sort of soup, you don't want it to be dry, and it can get dry even within a soup context. So bring it to a boil so the fish cooks through, and then just simmer it a little bit, but this whole thing takes like 10 minutes. All right, while that's happening, I am going to take my handy dandy cilantro. When I buy fresh herbs, cilantro and parsley in particular, I wash them immediately, shake them in the sink, cut off the stems like flowers, stick them in a little glass full of water, and it's always ready to go. Ready to go is the name of the game. I keep it in the fridge, and then when I'm making something, all I gotta do is that. This stuff is just about gone, but I also never throw anything away because I may need just 4 little leaves of cilantro to garnish something. So that's ready to go. What's also going to go in here is some lime, especially when you have somewhat sweet ingredients like coconut milk, and there's a little bit of acidity in the tomatoes, but I, again, like a little bit of zing. So I'm hoping you have one of these. Citrus reamer, or squeezer, I guess it is. I'm going to put a half a lime in here, and who knows, maybe I'll want my other half a lime. And then salt, keep a big bowl of it right next to my stove here. Again, how much do we like? I like a lot. Put a little of that in. Oh, see, this smells delicious. Delicious. Yeah. Okay, that's just about done. I'm gonna show it to you when it's completely done, and you're gonna want it. Okay, it is done, done, done. That was literally like 5 minutes. I checked my email and I came back. All right, let's scoopy doop. Now, sometimes I put this over half a cup of rice. I don't have any rice and I am starving. So I am simply going to sprinkle my cilantro on here. Grab me a spoon. Oh, I already have a spoon. Turn this down so it doesn't overboil. And can you see it? Oh, it is good. Get a little tomato in here. Get a little fish in here. I don't want to burn myself on TV. Fake TV, internet TV. Oh my God. Okay, it's perfect. I can taste the lime, the cilantro. If you hate cilantro, that's a shame because it's what goes best with this. You could use parsley instead, but again, it gives it that zippiness and it is so fresh and so yummy and so healthy. And my stomach will feel good after it. It won't be bloated. It won't be nothing except happy. So really, you gotta check this out.